Hi, everyone. This is Chaplain Jeremy Salido, and I'm stationed at Naval Support Activity South Potomac. And this is Stepping Off the Brow, a show for sailors and military-connected civilians where we look at life's issues on both sides of the ship's brow. So whether you are stepping off the brow to come to work, stepping off the brow to come home, or you're waiting for someone to step off the brow to come home to you, this show is for you. More importantly, during this time of COVID-19 and all the things about being in the Navy life, we want to introduce you to people and their stories that can give you strength for today and a bright hope for tomorrow. So before we get started with our interview, we have a short segment that we like to call Off the Cuff. Christina, what's off the cuff?
Chaplain Salido gives us an inspirational or weird story that he found during the week, and he just gives us our off-the-cuff reflections on that. So take it away, Chap.
So I'm going to give you the story, and then I like to kind of get now your response, Christina, because I really appreciate yours. But also, I've got the video to go along with this. So the story is this. There's an Idaho man, and he showed off his coordination, and he broke a Guinness Book of World Records. He sliced through 40 thrown crab apples while juggling 3 knives. David Rush, who has broken more than 150 Guinness records to promote STEM education. Hey, that's pretty good, actually. 150. I'm sure it was like largest number of pieces of bubble gum chewed at one time, maybe, like those kind of records, I imagine. This is the key, though. This is key. Mr. Rush said, and he's been juggling since 2004, but he said it took him a year and a half of casual training and then several weeks of serious preparation to get to the point where he could take on the record. What do you think serious preparation looked like?
Like this?
Stretching? I mean, do you stretch for that? All right. Okay. Well, here you go. I think we need to watch the video. So Christina, I want you to just kind of add a commentary for those who are listening to this. What do you see starting now?
I don't see anything.
You don't see anything. Oh, you know why? That's because I haven't shared my screen. See, this is why we're going to edit this.
Right.
See, such a rookie. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Okay, ready?
Oh. Okay.
What do you see?
A guy throwing knives and cutting them. Like crisscross applesauce a little bit.
I mean, look at that face. I mean, and we've in slow-mo.
I don't really know. I think COVID taught him a new skill. I think lockdown's been good for this guy. I like the intensity.
All right. Admit it. You're probably a little jealous.
Me? Jealous? Really? No, I'm good. I don't want to juggle knives. No, thank you.
No? Okay. Well, on that note, thank you for that off the cuff moment, Christina. Today, we have with us Chief Hospital Corpsman Baodi. He is currently stationed at Navy Medicine Training Sports Center in San Antonio, Texas. He is the leading Chief Petty Officer for Division 8 of HMA School. His story is fascinating for a number of reasons, but most of all because of where his family came from as immigrants. So I hope you'll enjoy his story.
So, given it seems like you draw a lot of strength from your past and everything else like that, that seems to have really influenced you. So how do, as we sort of like move into the future, your son, you have one son?
I have 2.
Oh,
I
wow.
have a son and a daughter, yeah.
Yeah, he's got 3 kids.
Gavin's 14, yeah. Gavin's 14,
Gavin,
Sophia's 12,
Sophia.
and Evan's about 22.
You've been in the Navy, given your family's history, given how all this, this very inspirational story, how does that continue to, because, it can be very difficult, especially working in the medical field. You see a lot of very, I don't want to say difficult things, but very tough side of life. How does that continue to give you hope for the future?
When I just look at when I think back about it, you know, I you know, you have the ability to help someone, right? And being in the medical field brings that person hope. In physical therapy, I've been doing for over 10 years. And when someone gets injured and they lose hope sometimes, like, I'm never going to be the same again. I'm never going to be able to do this or that. One of the opportunities I had was working with the Wounded Warriors. And that was such an amazing time to watch them grow as a person and like develop new skills and adapt to different sports and being able to get back to somewhat of a normalcy. If you do something over and over again, it tends to, that's the one thing I like about the Navy. Like I always do something different. I've never done the same thing over and over again. There's always been some different part of, or different perspective of the medical field. And like right now, I'm doing instruction or being an instructor at the schoolhouse is different, and that buys me like right now that brings me a lot of happiness to just teaching and contributing to the community and knowing that that's going to be our legacy one day that they're gonna take over the watch for us one day and that's hope right there.
I was wondering, kind of given where your parents came from, if you were to talk to them and ask them what gives them hope for the future right now, what does that look like, do you think? What does that sound like?
Grandkids,
Really?
grandkids running around. Yes. So I recently went home to visit my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and like my mom, her thing right now is gardening. She loves her garden, and then watching the kids and seeing us grow. Watching us grow up and become fulfilling our potential, doing the things that we need to do in order to become better. Because I feel like to honor them, I have to give my 100% and then some. That I want to continue to better myself so that I can help the people around me, the one that's closest to you, the people that really means a lot to you. And and sometimes when you're doing those kind of things, there's always someone watching. I feel there's always someone watching, and sometimes that inspires them to, get off their butt and go do something because I feel like everyone's extraordinary, but a lot of us just do ordinary stuff, and we don't want to do the extra stuff to be extraordinary in
Mm-hmm.
life. And then you hit this wall where it's just like, man, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And I like that quote where Albert Einstein talks about, if you continuously do the same thing over and over again, but you expect a different outcome, then that's just madness. And I always refer back to that quote, if there's something in your life that you don't like, you can change it. And I think when I was at Spec War with you, there was a point in my life where I think I was 8 years or hitting 9 years as an E5, and I wasn't happy
Mm-hmm.
with my career and where it was going. And instead of blaming other people, I was reading this book where it talks about extreme ownership, and that really helped me kind of refocus my perspective in life. So I started, asking the right questions, like what can I do? What's some other stuff that I can do on the side to help other people out? It was to the point where when we were doing the MWR stuff and helping out the dependents and helping out the command, making it a better place, being part of FCPOA, working with my peers, I think that's when I realized that it wasn't about really myself anymore, and it was about others. And the more people I can help, you know, it brought my dreams true because in that 4.5 year time span I was there, I went from an E5 and I made chief. And it was because I had really good mentors like yourself and like just really good people around me to kind of push me, inspire me. So us as leaders, we should do the same thing and help other people, inspire them to do their best. But you can't do that if you don't give yourself 100%. If you don't love yourself, if you don't do the little things that matters.
Do the little things that matter. So, like, kind of getting back to the question that I just asked, that idea of what gives hope for the future right now. I kind of like how you connected the dots to the little things, to um, to other people, to kind of getting out from under those obstacles that are kind of just kind of weighing down your vision, almost like you said you were at E5 for a while, and that was kind of dragging you down, and then you just kind of just broke out of that.
Right. It's the environment, mindset. The mindset I feel is very important. The little stuff would be like I would I would set my alarm earlier, right? I would come into work extra early to work out with the teams in the morning, and then after that, before work even started, got all the admin stuff knocked out, prepped for the day. Those are the little stuff that you don't most people don't have to do, but it was all the little stuff that added up to I'm not going to say like greatness or anything like that, but it added up to the person that you can be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like professional side, there's little things you can tweak, but how would you kind of translate that into personal side, like with family life, just however that looks like for other people?
So that I'm not gonna lie, I struggle with that really, really, like especially the last couple of years. I feel obligated that, being like the LCPO for a division, that I have to be there for my sailors. I have to be there for, my comrades and stay late, show up early. And lately, my family's been through just through the ringer. I'm not gonna lie. My father-in-law recently passed away. My
Mm-hmm.
mother-in-law was diagnosed with cancer. My son got diagnosed with autism.
Oh my
I
goodness.
It was just, and it all happened within, a very short time frame. And I realize now that, how important my family is. When Kirby had to jump on that plane to go see her dad, right? Like there was no, she usually leave me little notes in the schedule. Like none of that happened, right? She just took off. And I quickly realized how important and all the little things that, Kirby would do to support me in the military. And I feel like a lot of our spouses in the military does that for us day in and day out for years and years. Kirby and I, we're about to hit our 18-year anniversary pretty soon. And, um, and, and I feel like I could not have gotten to where I am now if it wasn't all the sacrifice that she made.
Yeah.
And the kids too, definitely the kids. All that lost time that, you don't have with them. But I feel like the balance is something that you really have to work on, that you have to put your phone down. You have to, schedule Bible time with the kids at night. Have when you have dinner, sit down, pray together. Um, Waking up, just little things like getting up in the morning and saying hi to the kids and say, "Hey, have a great day at school." Asking them when they get off of school, "Hey, how's your day?" And like really pay attention to them. Spending that time with Kirby, like, "Hey, what do you want to go for dinner tonight?" By the way,
So
that's like
so
the
it's
worst.
intentionality,
Yes,
intentionality.
yes.
Yeah.
Like really, really working on it because if you don't, you can get sucked into work really, really easily, as we all know in the military.
Hmm. So what was the first thing when she had to run off and you had to step in? What was the first thing you realized? I don't know how to make this work. So
Their schedule, their where to drop them off for school, what time does Evan eat his snack time? When does he have a smoothie? When is the nap time? Um, I, I realized like there's a lot of laundry to be done.
there's a
Like,
lot of laundry. Yes.
yeah, it was like, and by the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I feel like I've been through a lot sometimes, right? But taking care of those kids and keeping them on a schedule, holy moly, that just,
Any Navy spouse listening to this right now just said, "Amen, brother." It's
man, I was just I just couldn't. By the end of the day, I was done. Like mentally, I was done. I was ready for a nap.
as long as I've known you, you've been super positive, and I have to think that you have probably learned some important lessons, maybe even some painful lessons along the way. So, what would Chief No want Seaman Recruit No to know? Pardon the pun.
Or
Okay.
airman recruit.
or airman
No,
recruit, or
don't leave out the
Yeah.
wing now.
no, no, no. That's right.
Yeah.
Aviation counts. That's right.
So I would tell my younger self that everything's going to be fine, that always, always look forward to the future. Even though you don't know how you're going to get there, I think the most important part is your why you're going to get there. And because at the end of the day, when your motivation dries up, right? Because every January, right, what happened? New Year's resolution, right? Hey, I'm gonna lose 5 pounds. I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna start working out. And 2 weeks later, what happens? Your motivation's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think in the Navy, we do a really good job at teaching us discipline, like the little tiny things that I keep referring to. Like in class, I tell my students all the time, don't forget to shine your shoes, all right? And I think shining your shoes is one of those mundane tasks, but it is a physical reflection of how much work you put into it,
Hmm.
right? If you and it tells a lot too, because sometimes you can put in a lot of effort into a task, but it still looks crappy, right? It could, but you're doing something wrong, and you can always reach out and ask for help. And I don't know why. I just like referring back to shine your shoes. Shine your shoes. And it's weird because all the instructors at the schoolhouse, we don't wear the leathers anymore. We have to wear the suede.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my leathers is definitely shiny for when I wear my khakis. I still shine my shoes every week.
Nice.
That's how I pass the time in ODS. They've got a nice sheen on them.
Nice sheen. It's how
Or your head. You can shine your head too.
That's me shining my head right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So,
Like a bowling ball.
The glare
I
is
guess
there is
just
the
to wrap
glare a
it up.
problem right now for my head? Make sure.
A
No,
little
no,
bit.
it's not too bad. Not too bad at
Yeah.
all. To make a long story short, I would tell myself that everything's going to be fine. Work on the little things and stay disciplined. Stay disciplined.
One final question of would you do it all over again?
Would I do it all over again? Um, Life-wise, definitely, because I truly do appreciate the people that's in my life. Um, Military-wise, definitely. I couldn't ask for anything else. I believe that we all have some sort of destiny that we kind of fulfill, right? And and things are always gonna happen. Change is always gonna happen, and the only thing that you can control is how you react to those things. You can either go in there with a bad attitude, or you can just love life. That hey, you just woke up another day, and that's another chance for you to make different changes in your life. And I don't know. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't.
Any parting comments, uh, Chief?
Yes, everything's gonna always work out, and life can get kind of frustrating, but it's okay because those tests are gonna make you a better person. And a lot of times when you're tested, there's other people that's around you that's willing to help, and all you have to do is just ask for it. Even me as a chief and things that I've been through lately, I ask for help all the time, and it doesn't have to be a certain person. It can be anyone. It can be your team. It can be your command. It can be your spouse. It can be your family members. It could be your neighbor. The other day, I was like asking my neighbor, "Hey, can you come over? Could you help me out? I'm trying to get this bed into my mom's room." Um, but yeah, ask for help. Don't ever feel like you can't ask for help, and don't ever feel like no one's going to be there for you because there's always someone that's willing to help you out, and all you have to do is ask.
Ready? All right, Oreo, Lieutenant Dan. What do y'all think about the change in seasons? You know, it's fall and the temperatures are getting cooler, and you got your jacket on. What do you think, buddy?
I love the fall. It's great. Leaves, hot cocoa, pumpkin spice, all the good things.
Lieutenant Dan, what do you think about the fall?
No
Got it.
comment.
Well, we'd like to extend a big thank you to Chief No for taking time out of his day for letting us interview him. And from all of us here at Stepping Off the Brow, we'd like to say thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
Our theme music is the song Josie O by James Stone. The sweet and sour segment music was Baby Owls Dancing by Avita Peso. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts or guests and not the United States Navy. You can subscribe to Stepping Off the Brow wherever you find your favorite podcast. And of course, please feel free to share this with your shipmates, friends, or family. See you next week.